Hey guys, Lauren Schmidt here with KMUN News. I am in the Bigfoot Subdivision of Willow Creek on Hillcrest and Forest Drive, and behind me you can see where the fire crept, almost burning this neighborhood. I'll pan around. We have a home right here and multiple homes just right there. And firefighters were able to hold the line right here on Hillcrest. There's still hose laid down. Fire on this side, hand line here, no fire on this side, saved the house.
They did a lot of work up in here earlier in the week, and Ramon kind of just did a walkthrough earlier. So, yeah, well, if you get a chance, come stop by my place. You can kind of
Northeastern tip of the fire, the Waterman Fire. Lots of aircraft today. Share a little bit of background on this current incident.
Okay, I'm Rodney Smith. I'm a POF trainee here on the Six Rivers Lightning Complex, and I've been here since Wednesday evening, and we've been out in the public posting information. Have had incredibly wonderful response from the public. They really like receiving the information, and we've been giving information out to them that way, receiving information back from them as well. So it's been an excellent experience here.
You know, for some of our listeners, they've been following this Six Rivers Lightning Complex, but some folks may just be tuning in. Can you explain to them what a complex is and kind of what this situation is in the Six Rivers National Forest?
Yes. A complex usually means it's more than one fire. And so this team, and set of teams actually that are here managing this fire, is multiple fires set from the lightning that came through. I'm not exactly sure how many began with, but we're working currently with 5 fires, I believe it is. And so that's what makes it a complex. Instead of naming just the name of the fire, a single fire, they name it a complex, meaning multiple.
And during complex fires, incidents, you know, how does the Forest Service go about, you know, managing and mitigating and fighting, you know, multiple different fires?
It's part of the team that comes in. This is not uncommon to have complexes, so it's gone about really in the same fashion of a single fire as far as managing the perimeter. Even though it's multiple perimeters, it's still a perimeter, and so they manage it the same way. So there's not really a lot of differences in the complex other than the resources can be spread apart further doing that, but the practice that goes into it is very similar that you would with a single fire.
And can you update on acreage, containment, and personnel?
Yes, and I'm going to give you the number. It's currently at 15,942 acres and 15% contained. And I know we were at 1,400, I do apologize, personnel earlier, and I didn't get the latest number on that, so I don't want to give you the exact one.
And when the Forest Service, you know, calls in additional resources, there's an incident management team and resources are ordered, you know, like, are these folks kind of from all over?
Yes, as you might be able to tell, I have a slight accent. I come to California all the way from North Carolina. I work on a national forest in North Carolina, and so yeah, we're all trained the same to respond. And so when we show up, we know the setup from the team, how it works from the IC down, and so we know our place where we fall in and go to work in. So it works the same if California firefighters were to come to North Carolina and function basically the same.
And what are the kind of conditions we're seeing? You know, like this complex doesn't seem like it's McKinney fire status. We're not seeing runs of 18,000 acres in a short period of time. So can you just kind of talk about what we're seeing as far as fire behavior and the
Yes, they have been managing the fire and fighting the fire both by where it is willing to back down the ridgetop gently. They're allowing it to do so and meeting it on its own terms per se, and then where they can get in there and possibly go direct and do a little more fighting, they're doing it. So it's a dual process of what they're working on. So in certain areas the fire is gently backing down and doing what one might even call it more of a beneficial burn, cleaning up the woods a little bit. So they're going to let it back to it instead of trying to get on the side slope. As you know, this area, the terrain is pretty rough to work in. Extremely difficult to get equipment in, but even equally difficult to walk in and try and work.
You know, something members of the public I think are finally starting to understand is using fire as a tool, whether it's, you know, seeing these areas with the lightning strikes, but also doing backburns, right? Utilizing certain behavior. Can you just talk about how fire can be a tool?
Yes, and I've been, being from the South, we use fire every year on our district. We burn regularly, burn several thousand acres a year to reduce hazardous fuels. It also, again, with our growing type, different seasons, of course, it benefits wildlife by new growth. And then we also use it to clean areas off where we're going to reforest an area. So it's beneficial tool. It's one of the cheapest tools we have to use.
You know, and on this complex, we're seeing some repopulation efforts. I know there was a new evacuation order issued Friday, but on the other hand, there's also repopulation efforts. So, you know, is there kind of a ETA of full containment? And I know there's a lot of ifs and ands, but just kind of a general idea as for how long, you know, crews will be here.
Yeah, that I have not heard of an ETA on the full containment effort. It has started showing some containment as of this morning, so we're happy to report that we are starting to show some. So it's hard for me to put a finger on it, and that's for the, you know, the IC and, you know, general staff as far as how they'll let us know as operations report back in. But they are making some good headway. The reports we get in our briefings have been of a very much more positive nature here of late. So I think it's looking good. We are getting ready to go into a little bit hotter, drier conditions, so hopefully we'll be able to continue to maintain.
You know, on the way here, we actually saw that the Weather Service is predicting more lightning in the midst of kind of a heat wave in the early to mid next week. So is that something that could be of concern?
Well, anytime they forecast lightning out in west, for, you know, the way I understand it, it's always a concern. The part of what the team has set up is also some resources ready and available to go in addition to the local resources that are here. So it is in their minds and in their preparation as well.
And, you know, another interesting aspect of, you know, when the Forest Service calls in a team to manage and fight the fire, there's kind of like a 2-week rotation. Right now it's California Incident Management Team 11. Do we know when that next rotation will be and who we can expect to kind of take the reins on this fire?
I do not know who, but they do have a schedule, a rotation schedule of individuals that, or teams, I should say, that will be coming up, and I'm not aware of that because I know our rotation for the southeast. But I think they're about midway right now. I'm not sure on that exact date myself. I know mine, but I'm not sure on the overall team. I'm sorry.
No worries. And in the meantime, anything else you think members of the public should know?
I think that we're just doing the best we can to fight the fire and work with the fire, like I say, in places and meet it on its own terms. Stay safe, be prepared as the information we've been putting out. And if you see any of us out, ask questions. Please come up to us. We like the interaction of the one-on-one anyway versus just leaving something somewhere. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to approach any of the PIO staff as we're out and about in Willow Creek to Burnt Ranch to Titlow to wherever we may be going.
Thank you so much.
I was 26 years as a radio